We here at Edukemy have helped fulfill dreams of 51 Civil Service Exam UPSC toppers in the year 2020. If you too have the dream to crack this prestigious Civil Service Exam by UPSC, subscribe to our channel and stay up to date for all the information for your UPSC preparation. तैयारी आपकी, जिम्मेदारी हमारी।
Welcome to Edukemy. Myself Rahul, and today in this video we will be discussing the UPSC examination pattern and marking scheme. To start with, we will be referring to the UPSC notification. Now in this video we will be covering the plan of the examination, the various papers in the examination at various stages, the preliminary stages, the main examination stages, what is the syllabus of the examination at various stages, and the marks each examination and each paper consists of. That also we will be discussing in this session. Now to start with, the plan of the examination. Now the UPSC Civil Services examination comprises of two successive stages, that is the preliminary examination stage and the main examination stage, which has written an interview or the personality test. Now coming to the preliminary examination. Now the civil service preliminary examination consists of two papers which are objective in nature. Now the total overall score, it consists of 400 marks, so it carries a 400 marks in the subject. Now this paper or this preliminary examination is of a screening type, that is the marks obtained in the examination is not counted for the merit list. Yes, and the number of students that are qualified for the main examination is roughly around 12 to 13 times of those who are actually selected in the final ranking. So the number of vacancies are also given in the UPSC notification, and the number of candidates selected for the main examination stage is also given. The ratio is given, right? So the commission will draw a list of candidates to be qualified for the main examination on the basis of the marks you are obtaining in the preliminary examination. Yes, so there is a minimum level of marks that you have to obtain in the paper 2, that is the 33% of the marks out of the total marks in paper 2 have to be obtained to qualify. So and in the paper 1, the commission draws a list of candidates to be qualified for civil services main examination on the criteria of minimum qualifying marks of the total qualifying marks of general studies paper 1 of preliminary examination as determined by the commission. So the paper 2 is of the qualifying nature in a way that you have to score 33% minimum marks, and whatever score you are getting in the paper 1 of the preliminary examination will be determining where you are in the main examination or out of the main examination stage. Now coming to the pattern of the preliminary stage level. So there is a negative marking scheme. So there will be a negative marking for the incorrect answers as detailed below. So the 4 alternatives are given to every question, and if you are for each question for whose a wrong answer has been given by the candidate, 1/3 of the total marks which is assigned to the question is deducted, and that is deducted as a penalty. Also, if a candidate gives more than one answer to a question, it will be treated as a penalty. Even if one of the option that are there is correct, then also he or she gets a penalty for that answer. Now if a question is left blank, and no answer is given, that will not be treated as a penalty. Now coming to the main examination scheme. So the main examination of the civil services consists of 9 papers of essay type. Now this Among these 9 papers, 2 are of qualifying nature, and the rest 7 papers are of compulsory nature. Yes, these 7 papers are the one which determine your marks in the main examination, and the minimum level if you are getting in this 7 papers will determine if you are appearing for the interview. Now, candidates who obtain such minimum qualifying level in the written part of the main examination as fixed by the commission will be appearing for the interview part. Now, this interview marks plus those obtained in the compulsory paper of the main examination will be responsible for the ranking list. Now, coming to the preliminary examination, both this, it is of 200 marks each, and the duration is of 2 hours each. Now, both this question paper will be of objective type, that is the multiple choice question. Each will be of 2 hours duration, and the general studies paper 2 will be of qualifying nature. It means with minimum qualifying marks fixed at 33%. Yes, and both the question papers will be in Hindi as well as in English. Now, coming to the main examination, in that you have 2 qualifying papers, that is paper A and paper B. Now, in paper A, one of the Indian languages to be selected by the candidates from the language which are given in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now, which are the language that one can select as an option for paper A are Assamese, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, Bodo, Dogri, Maithili and Santhali. So these are the various options of language which you can choose in the paper A. The paper A consists of 300 marks, and paper B, which is of English, that is also of 300 marks. Now come to the papers of whose marks will be counted for the merit list. You have paper 1 as essay. So the essay paper, which is also of 250 marks. Now you have general studies paper 1, which is of Indian heritage and culture, history, geography of the world and society. You have general studies paper 2, governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relation. General studies paper 3 is consisting of technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. So all this paper consists of 250 marks each. You have paper 4, that is general studies paper 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude, which is also of 250 marks. Then you have paper 6 and 7 as optional paper 1 and paper 2 respectively, which also consist of 250 marks each. Now when you add to the written marks total of the papers which are counted in the main examination are 1750, that is 1750 marks is the grand total of all the written examination. And when the interview marks are added to it, which is of 275 marks, the grand total out of which the merit list is to be decided is 2025 marks. Now regarding the qualifying paper, that is the papers on Indian language and English will be of matriculation or equivalent standard. Yes, the standard or the level of the papers is also mentioned in the notification, and that will be of qualifying nature. And what is the qualifying percentage? The percentage is 25% in each of the paper. That is 75 marks you have to secure for qualifying. Now when you come to the paper A section, the paper A on the Indian language will not however be compulsory for all, right? So if a candidate comes from the state of Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Sikkim, the paper A is not of a compulsion. So also the paper A on the Indian language will not, however, be compulsory for the candidates belonging to persons with benchmark disability. So here some of the exemptions are given. Also, now this marks obtained by the candidates for the paper 1 to 7, that is the compulsory papers, are considered for your merit ranking. However, the commission will have the discretion to fix qualifying marks in any or all of these papers. So there is a discretion that is given by the UPSC themselves. Now coming to the optional subject, what are the optional that are available to us? Agriculture, animal husbandry and veterinary. You have anthropology, botany, chemistry, civil engineering, commerce and accountancy, economics, electrical engineering, geography, geology, history, law, management. You have mathematics, mechanical engineering, medical science, philosophy, physics, political science and international relations. Then you have psychology, public administration, sociology, statistics, zoology, and the literature on any of the following languages, that is Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati. You have Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santhali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, and English. So any one of the language can be chosen as a literature option. Now coming to the interview or personality test. Now the candidates will be interviewed by a board who will have before them a record. So you have a detailed application form in that the candidates whole biodata is given to the in front of the board. So the candidates will be asked questions on matters of general interest. So questions on general interest will be asked. So the objective is also mentioned in the notification, that the objective of the interview or the personality test is to assess the personal suitability of the candidate for a career in public service. So by a board of competent and unbiased observers, right? So it is to judge the mental caliber of the candidates. It is to judge the mental caliber of the candidates. Also in the notification it is given that some of the qualities to be judged are mental alertness, critical power of assimilation, clear and logical exposition, balance of judgment, variety and depth of interest, ability of social cohesion, and leadership, intellectual and moral integrity. So along with this, also the interview, the personality test is not intended to test the specialized or general knowledge of a candidate, which the UPSC has already done in the main examination. Here the candidates are expected to have an intelligent interest not only on the academic subject but also around the topics what is happening around the world, within the state, within the country and all. So here syllabus of the interview is also given. Right now you come to the main exam syllabus of the preliminary examination. So preliminary examination paper 1 of 200 marks and the duration is also given, that is of 2 hours. So current affairs, that is the current events of national and international importance. Then you have history of India and the Indian national movement. You have the geography as a subject in the preliminary examination. The syllabus that is given is India and world geography, physical, social, economic, geography of India and the world. Indian polity and governance, constitution, political system, panchayat raj, public policy, rights issue, etc. Economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion. Then you have demographics, social sector initiatives, general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity and climate change, and also they have mentioned that do not require special subject specialization. Then you have general science. So these are all part of your preliminary paper 1 syllabus. Now paper 2, which is also of 200 marks and which is of qualifying nature in a way that you have to score minimum 33% marks. It is also of 2 hours duration. Now the syllabus consists of comprehension, interpersonal skills and communication skills, logical reasoning and analytical ability. You have decision making and problem solving, general mental ability, basic numeracy and interpretation. So these are the part of the syllabus of your paper 2. Now come to the main examination. Now the main examination, what is its intention? So the main examination is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding of candidates rather than merely the range of their information and memory. So the depth of and understanding of the candidates is checked over here. The nature and standard is also given. The nature and standard of questions in the general studies paper 1 to paper 5. Paper 2 to paper 5 will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study. The question will be such that the candidate's general awareness on variety of the subject will be checked, which will have some relevance in a career in civil services, right? So basic understanding on the relevant issues and ability to analyze these things will be checked of a candidate. Also will be checked the candidate's views on some conflicting issues, right? The candidate must give relevant, meaningful answers. So what the examination intention is, that is totally mentioned in the UPSC notification, right? The scope of the syllabus of optional papers is also given, that it will be higher than the honors degree level 1, that is the bachelor's degree, right, and lower than the master's degree. But in terms of engineering, medical science, law, the level will be corresponding to their bachelor's level. Now coming to the syllabus of the main examination, we have essay. The candidates may be required to write essays on multiple topics. This will be expected to keep closely with the subject of the essay, to arrange their ideas in orderly fashion and to write them concisely, right? And the credit will be given for effective and exact expression. Now you have general studies paper 1, which is of history, geography and society. In that, Indian heritage, culture and history and geography of the world and society is the syllabus. You have general studies paper 2 consisting of governance, constitution, polity, social justice and international relation. General studies paper 3 consists of technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security and disaster management. General studies paper 1 is of ethics, integrity and aptitude. So keep yourself up to date. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Edukemy. Do join our courses of the main support program. So stay tuned for all the updates with Edukemy.